So I am here with Barry Rutten, Magnetic Sales Systems, rockstar, superstar, high-fee mastery graduate. How are you, my friend?
I am very good. Happy to be here.
So it's fantastic to see you, as always. Talk to me a little bit about how you came in, what your business looked like, and what you were doing before high-fee mastery. What were some of the strategic and tactical and financial ahas during the program, and now how you're rocking and rolling afterwards?
I was just stuck in this world that I had started out, which was, hang out my shingle, come up with some fee rate, which was, $125 an hour, because that multiplied out nicely to $500 a month, and it was nice and tidy. And there I was in $500 a month world, making some money, sure, but too many hours a week, burning out, too many repetitive conversations, no ability to scale. And then one day we were on, I called into the call from one of these meetings, and you said, stop it. and I got, I think, a nice 5-minute lecture about I was sitting in front of a UPS store when I called in. I remember where I was, and you were like, look, the reason that people are not respecting you and showing up for your stuff, canceling and changing and not doing the homework is because you're not charging them enough money. And I really had a lot of trouble wrapping my head around that initially, like I think everybody. And but as in most good pivotal moments in life, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I listened and I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. And I knew you were right, but I didn't have the tool set. I think I was starting to get the mindset, but I didn't have the tool set to make the change. I was like, okay, well, I got these people and I agreed to this amount, and well, now what do I do? And even if I took on a new person, I got to the moment where I was the fee, and I was like, well, David said I should charge more, and I said the same $500 came out of my mouth again and again and again. Then I started to feel really bad about myself. And I guess at some point you must have reached into the stratosphere and said, I feel Barry's pain. And you put the high fee mastery thing out. And I was like, well, that's what I need. And so that was a really easy decision because it was exactly on point to what I needed to make that transition.
So, and then let's talk about, so now you're in the program. We're working on mindset, we're working on skill set, working on enrollment conversation, and you had some real breakthroughs. I mean, I got to give you a ton of credit, man, because you jumped the line and you said, okay, like you said, you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. You made some brave, bold steps. I remember one day you put in the Facebook group, hey gang, I had a call. I could have had an easy $500 a month sale, and instead, tell us what you did.
Well, I think in that message that I sent to the group, I said I put my big boy pants on. And there was this moment where the number had to leave my lips. And one part of my brain was screaming, guaranteed sale at $500 a month. And the other one was, you're going to feel so awful if you throw that number out again. And I said, I followed what you said. And I said, the fee is $9,000 if you make 3 payments, but it's $7,500 if you do it all in one shot. And I literally heard the guy gulp, like gasp, gulp at the same time. And I sent him a follow-up email, and I tried to, kind of explain. And it was right over one of the big holidays, like Memorial Day, Labor Day, whatever was coming up. And I sent him the email, and I didn't expect anything. And then the day after the holiday ended, like if the holiday was a Monday, I got an email, and he said, I'm ready to go. I want to do the, in his case, he actually took the payments, which was surprising, but he did it. And that was like the first aha. And then, of course, asking for the sale and not being nervous about it and not being worried about it. And I actually want to charge more now because I feel like they're saying yes too easily. That's been very interesting to hear them say, like, sure, and like no objections. And that's what I've told you, that for the last 4 or 5, it's been 0 objections, 0 questions.
And these are 7,500, 7,500, 7,500, correct?
Oh, it's been 5 of those now.
5 of those since our program, since you had this aha transformation.
Right.
And it used to be $500 a month just for the folks that are following along at home.
Correct. You talked about this flip the classroom idea of take all the best teaching, all your best ideas, do voiceover PowerPoints, upload all that, give it all to them so that when you're live, you're doing your highest and best value stuff, which is that live feedback and coaching and role play and such. And then you're like, oh my God, I can have as many people, I can have 50 people on the call. I coach 3 or 4 of them because they submitted, I have this question or this case or whatever.
Yeah.
And when I coach Melissa, 49 other people hear my answers and coaching to Melissa, and they get a lot of value. And then they compete to be in those hot seats.
Love it.
So that's my sole focus right now, is to turn all this stuff to that model. Because I sat down, because you gave us this exercise about kind of figuring out the monetization of it all. And I was like, I can have $1 million business in 6 hours a week. That's what I figured out. A mix of a couple of different programs, all structured this flip the classroom way, where my live time is only XYZ, 10 and 2, 3 days a week. All the rest is either fun or continuing to work and market. And so that all those things were huge, huge takeaways.
My happy antenna just went crazy right there when you said $1 million business in 6 hours a week. I was like, woo! So last quick thing, Barry, and thank you again for sharing all of that fabulous experience and all the transformation that's happened in your business. Let me ask you, what would you say to someone who is on the fence right now?
If anybody is, I guess, on the fence, my feeling is the decision process is very simple. If number one, accept as fact that people will more readily buy from you when you charge them a lot of money, which is a huge mental hurdle, I think, for all of us to get over. You said to us, you charge more because you're worth more, but you're worth more because you charge more. It's the second half that's hard to get your head around. But I've seen it, and I can tell you that I had dozens of $500 a month clients. And I've had 8, $7,500 a month clients. Oh my God, the compliance. And when I say compliance, I mean they do what they need to do to learn your stuff to get the benefit of your program. People who pay money of that level respect you more, implement more. They can't afford to screw around. They can't afford to dilly-dally because they got a lot of money on the table. And they basically, I think, from human psychology, Rolls-Royce must be a better car because they charged me $400,000. You had us do this exercise, which is, what would your 250,000 business look like in 500? And at first I was like, well, why do I even need to bother with that? And then I was like, well, I'll just do the 250 level and stop because that's the first milestone I'd like to get to. And I was like, well, why would you stop? So I actually jumped ahead and kept doing the 500 and the million. I went, it's not that much more of a step. So I think the 2 takeaways there are, 1, do every exercise that David tells you to do because it's not fluff or extraneous. There's a reason. It is a mental shift going, oh my God, that's actually possible, that $1 million business in 6 hours is actually possible. It changes your motivation level. And don't second guess the program. That was because I was like, oh, I'm a pretty good salesperson. I've been doing this for 30 years. I teach it. People pay me to teach. Be humble and accept that someone else knows how to do this better than you do, and they're ahead of you. So I think it's Tony Robbins who said, find somebody who's already successfully doing what you want to do and get coached by them, trained by them, mirror them, copy them. And so that's what I would say is, if you want to do this, this guy's doing it, copy him, and you'll get the same success. And allow your brain to be rewired. That's something that for me, not that I was resistant, but I couldn't figure out where to plug the wires in. And once I figured out where to plug the wires in, then all this energy and power was surging through the wires, and that was really kind of cool.